everyone, welcome back to Nails by Niche. In this video, we're going to be doing this classic red French. So here's what we're starting out with. These are the nails from a previous video that I made. I shortened them because to work, I type on a computer all day, my full-time job, so I just need them shorter. And I also cannot stand when you can see my natural nail underneath, so that's why I'm redoing these. So let's take down some of the product and go from there. I was trying to thin them out as much as I could and like get off as much of the blue as possible. So this is my Cuticle Remover by Blue Cross, and I'm just going to push back the cuticle, remove any dead skin that I can. This helps prevent lifting on the nail and, helps with the longevity of your nail set. This is my cuticle scraper. Honestly, this is like probably my favorite tool. It is so satisfying to remove all that dead skin. And now I'm coming in with my 180 grit sanding band at a low speed. This is like very, very low on my e-file, and I'm just getting nice and tight into those corners, very, very gently. I'm not pressing very hard, just wanting to remove the shine off the nails and just like rough up some of the old gel as well. Here's my crooked nail. I end up fixing it because I do an almond shape after. And so this is my normal filing routine. I'm just trying to be perpendicular to the nail with the nail file and just get the shape. I'll file underneath a little bit just to clean up the sides, try and make them as straight as possible. And we have one casualty. No, I had filed them way too thin through the apex area. That's also just a good demonstration of what happens when your nails are too thin. When your extensions are way too thin, that's how easily they could break, okay? So if you are someone who's a client and you want like super thin nails, that's not always the case. They need to have an apex, they need to have structure, they need to have that like dome shape, to them to give them strength, okay? So now I'm just going to apply my nail form so I can sculpt out a new nail. And I also ripped off the pointer, the ring finger as well. So when it comes to sculpting, I like to start with the tip of the nail and just sculpt out the general shape. Most of the time I sculpt way too long, like not at all the length that I want. But I overdo the sides, so you want to go as lower on the sides than what you would ideally want, so you have enough room to file that straight across from the nail where the nail grows out on the side. You want that to be fairly straight, and you also want enough length so that if you shorten it, all of your nails can be an even length. Like super thin, so you want to leave the form on while you're doing this whole process, just to make sure you don't accidentally snap one of them off. So that's me struggling to figure out how I'm gonna do this. I just have to keep all my nails down. And I'm gonna start off by creating that new smile line, and I'm actually gonna use my natural smile line as kind of like a guide, because I don't like it when you can see my natural nail underneath. So I'm going to use that as my guide and maybe go a little bit closer to the free edge. I'm making it because I know the product will be a little thicker and more opaque. So I'm going to cure that. I'm going to come in with my next little bit of gel on that nail. What I am doing is I did end up grabbing way too much product. I did not need that dollop because I need to make sure that there's enough product on the nail already. On that dry part there, that is my natural nail. So I actually want to scoop that off and come in and make sure that this product is adequately, adhered to my nail. Instead of it kind of floating there, you do want to make sure like you've pushed it into that natural nail bed. just so that it sticks. This product doesn't have a primer, doesn't have a base coat. It is all of that in one. It has all of that worked into it already in the formula. It works very well. So you can feel confident about just applying it to your nail, natural nail. So now I'm going to work in a bigger dollop, working it in circular motions, very, very gently. Gel is like, you have to have like a super light touch. And then when you want to work it down a bit, just stay in that area of where I'm going to have my smile line, and then cure it when you feel comfortable. And then I'm going to build up that free edge with that smile line a little bit more. I just don't think it's high enough. So I'm just going to come in with a little bit more product and cure it. The key when you're doing this part as well is using a low heat mode for your clients, because the reaction from the gel curing can be quite spicy. So you want to use like a low heat mode on your lamp. So now I'm coming in. This is my Pana medium 5-way bit, and so it's that medium grit, really, really good for gel, and it rotates both directions. So because I do my left and my right hand, you want a bit that can go both directions. I didn't even know that existed until recently. I was like, oh, I did not realize that. So that's why some of my bits that I have from when I first bought my e-file didn't work very well for me. I just didn't use them. I was like, oh, these suck. And then I realized, oh, it's because the bit doesn't actually spin that direction. So the reverse, that's the direction I use because I'm left-handed. So I was started like filing with the nail file, but then just to tidy everything up, but I realized I didn't go low enough on the nail because I did apply some clear gel on that natural nail. So I'm just kind of removing some of it just so I can get as close as I can to the natural nail and make this smile line as crisp as possible. So you want to do that on all 5 nails. Now I'm going to come in with Candy. This is a gorgeous, gorgeous red from the GelBottle. Just going to put some on a little palette. This is my detail brush as well from the GelBottle. I just bought it recently. Wanted to try it out. And I'm just going to come in and start with applying the gel right on the smile line area. Now you do want to be careful about getting gel on your skin. I'm horrible with it, but for the client's sake, just be careful, and then you can come in and fill in the rest with the brush. You don't want to be too thick, thin enough that it will cure completely with a 60-second cure, and then apply a second coat. Honestly, I probably could have done 3 because you can see the ridge from my natural nail to the extension, which I actually could have filed down a bit. However, you know, hindsight 2020. Now I'm coming in with my clear gel, and I'm just encapsulating this whole design just so that it's like extra crisp and clear, and you don't want to fill this whole section with red gel polish. Gel polish is not made to do that. This is hard gel. This is a hard gel extension. This is what it's made to do. This adds structure to the nail. It, I find it makes the French look just so crisp and clean. And in time-wise, I would say it's probably a little longer to do it this way than to paint it. Maybe a little bit longer. You could probably get really fast at it. However, if your client wants that really crisp, clean French, by all means, totally recommend it. So, this is me going in with my e-file and taking down the bulk of that product, getting my shape nice and fine. So when I'm doing my hand file routine, I start with the cuticle area, the sides, get my shape nice and refined, get the sides cleaned up, and get the tip of the nail nice and thin and in that kind of dome shape, but you want it to get thinner as you get closer to the tip of the nail. And you also want to make sure it's a credit card thickness. That's the general rule of thumb. And then because I've overfiled the sides a little bit, you can come in and tidy up those corners, make them crisp again, and come in and apply some top coat. Get as close as you can to that cuticle. And once you've applied it on all 5 nails, or all 10, you can cure for a minute. And here's the final look. If you enjoyed this video, I really hope you can like it and subscribe to my channel because I put out videos weekly. Thank you.